Joining me now is trial attorney and former felony prosecutor Andrea Lewis. Andrea, good morning to you. Thanks for being with me. Still so many questions here, right? What do you make of these reports that Konanki's parents want her declared dead?
You know, it's quite shocking just because of the recency of this entire situation. I mean, here we have a young girl who just as of a couple weeks ago was leaving with her friends on what should have been one of the best trips of her life. And now here have tons of questions. We have a young man over there who's being held in relation to her disappearance. And we have the family in just such a short period of time asking for her to be declared dead without her body even being found. It's really, there's a lot of shocking twists and turns in this story for sure.
Yeah, and you bring up the young man who is still there. He's being questioned. He's not being named a suspect at this time, but his attorneys have come forward and said, hey, my client can't leave the hotel. He's under constant supervision, so he's technically not free. Is that normal?
Look, you know, in the Dominican Republic, I wouldn't be able to tell you, you know, specifically over there if this is what they do. It's certainly not normal for the United States. I can tell you that here where we are. But any type of detention like this generally comes with such a threshold of evidence that they would have against the perpetrator, against the suspect, let's say. And so it would seem to me that they have reason to be holding him. They have reason to believe that this wasn't just an innocent disappearance where she went out into the ocean and unfortunately, tragically drowned. If that was the case, it would seem unusual that they would take the extraordinary step of holding a non-citizen in a hotel, is what it sounds like, over there, confiscating his passport and not allowing him to leave. So I question whether there's something more that the investigators there have that we don't yet know.
Yeah, something they're keeping close to the vest. Talk to me about evidence here, too. I mean, obviously, if they found her body, that would change the game. But in lieu of that, what kind of evidence would they need to charge him with something?
Well, so we've got this video footage. This resort seems to have quite a significant amount of video cameras in it. Of course, that's going to be very helpful. If they had the body, they'd be looking for DNA. They still may have some avenues to get DNA off the suspect or other places, depending on what they've learned so far. And then, of course, friends or witnesses. The trouble that they're probably going to have in this case, though, is it sounds like all these young kids were intoxicated. So, of course, that causes some problems when it comes to getting consistent witness testimony. But given the amount of evidence that we've seen so far, it does seem like investigators do have quite a bit to work with.
Yeah, I know we have two grieving families here who both need answers. But Andrea Lewis, I got to end it there. Thank you so much for your time and your expertise this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, greatly appreciate it.